James Wayne Wiles was a suspected predator featured on the Flagler Beach, Florida episode of To Catch a Predator. He is more affectionately known by his online screen name, Hambubger, as well for his older and zombie-like appearance despite only being in his 50s at the time of the sting. He is also infamously known for his past predatory crimes against his own children. Welcome to the second season of Predator Deep Dives. What a lifelong predator looks like. James Wiles was born May 5, 1953 in Jacksonville, Florida. He would have 3 daughters with his then wife, where his family was subjected to a torturous living by his hand. A newspaper entry mentioning the family on Christmas of 1993 surfaced online. A picture shows all of them sitting down for a picture on Christmas Day. The text also adds a lot of details about James' life at the time, like his time as a volunteer firefighter and his wife being disabled and requires the use of a wheelchair. The headline explains that Wiles and his family went through a storm that caused their house to be demolished, and that the charity done by strangers helped save their Christmas with the ability to stave off the cold. One of his daughters, named Marcia, details what living under a roof with her father was like, with her twin sister being subjected to molestation by James, as well as Marcia herself being abused and beaten when coming back from school.
I don't know, because my father, he wasn't a father figure. He molested my twin sister. He beat me from one side of the house to the other every single day for walking in the door from school. I didn't even have to do anything wrong.
Oh my God!
All I knew is as soon as I stepped off that school bus, I knew I knew exactly what to expect when I got in the door from school.
James, his brother, and his father were all guilty of preying on all 3 of his kids, which he adamantly denies ever partaking in. He claims that it was all his brother who molested his kids while he was away working.
And was it them that said that you had molested them, or was somebody else?
They said I molested them. Come to find out, my brother molested them because I was a truck driver and I was over the road, and they blamed me for it because I wasn't there to do nothing about it at the time.
Did your brother ever get charged with it, or
they put him in jail the next day? He was back out on the street.
So you and your brother got arrested for it?
I did afterward. After I got back to Citrus County, back home, then they arrested me.
Did they drop the charges against your brother?
I don't have the slightest idea. I haven't heard from and seen my brother since 2000.
Okay. What's your brother's name? Is he older or younger than you?
He's 6 years older. I was a little kid, even less a little 3-year-old.
You look at him like a 3-year-old?
No, I said when I was a little kid, he was 16 and molested a little 3-year-old.
Oh, okay.
James worked as a truck driver, wherein he would suffer a back injury while working, which resulted in 4 crushed discs in his back. The details of this accident aren't known, but it is known that a surgery to attempt to fix the damage was considered, but Wiles ultimately refused it, as there was a possibility that surgery could leave him paralyzed from the neck down. Though he will need a wheelchair for long distances, he was still able to walk despite his laborious movement that would be shown firsthand when he arrived at the sting house that fateful morning. His wife would divorce him as soon as his daughters came forward, which left Wiles all alone with a lot of free time and the chance to talk on social chat rooms. James Wiles would create an online profile with the infamous screen name Hambubger, where he would begin chatting with a 13-year-old decoy named Claire. Claire and Hambubger would have a very lengthy chat that resulted in their entire online conversation being 28 pages long. Hambubger would begin messaging Hey Shut Up on December 2nd, 2006 at 8 p.m. It gets so lonely without someone to talk to. Aw, you don't have a girlfriend? No, but I'm looking for one. Cool. Would you be my friend? Okay. Thank you. It feels so good to have someone to talk to. Yeah, I know what you mean. With their conversation lasting a little under a week, James would exclaim his desire for love to Claire nearly instantaneously, as he details his loneliness resulted from his divorcing and ostracization from his family. He proclaims how much a 13-year-old girl means to him, with the next morning sending a very affectionate message. Okay, I will talk to you later, love. Here comes your big kiss, for now. With love and more love. Aw, thanks. Night-night. Good night and sweet dreams. Hi, sweetie. I love you, dear, with all my heart, body, and soul. I love more than you could ever imagine, dear. You are the air I breathe. You are my sunshine, the rose garden for my heart, my love. So, dear, that means you are my world. Love you, and hope to see you soon. God bless and have a very blessed day. Hiya, James. Hi, sweetie. The exchange eventually devolved into a cesspool of inappropriate conversations such as having unprotected sex, intentions of marrying the decoy, and talks about her pink underwear. A phone call that he had with the decoy surfaced online, where in the 3-minute clip, expresses his worries about the girl's dedication to secrecy.
James?
Hey. Yeah? Hang on a minute.
Okay.
Yep, that's me.
Hi, it's Claire.
You really 13.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding. You sound older.
Well, thank you.
You really want to do what you said, what we was talking about?
Well, I wouldn't have said it if I didn't want to.
I don't know. You're a little too young, dear. I love you, though.
Well,
Do what?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I thought you said you loved me, and so.
I do love you. I was thinking you was older than 13.
What if I like you and you like me? What does it matter if I'm 13?
Age doesn't matter, dear, but what I'm thinking is if something happens, you could holler rape and I'd go to jail.
I can't believe you think I'd do that.
Well, I wouldn't think you would, but you don't ever know. I've seen people do that.
I would never.
Have you had it before?
No.
No, you know it's going to hurt.
But you'll be careful, right?
Yeah, I'll be careful, but it's going to hurt. It's awful painful, dear, when you first do it.
Well, then it's better for you to do it because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but what if you start hollering, then what? You start screaming, your neighbors liable to think you're in trouble.
No, you're silly.
Huh? No, I'm not silly.
My mom's screaming for the phone. Will you meet me back online?
Do what?
I said my mom's screaming for the phone. Will you meet me back online?
Yeah, if I can get it back on, it went off. I got logged off for some reason. Let me try to get back on.
Okay. I'll talk to you on there. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Wiles would drive around 2 hours and travel over 70 miles to the staying house in Flagler Beach. He exits his vehicle, and his aforementioned handicap is visibly apparent to hinder his ability to walk. The 19-year-old decoy placed by Dateline MSNBC greets him at the door, where she asks if he brought the M&Ms they had discussed in the online chat. The decoy was played by Samantha Cope, an actress that would go on to have a successful career in television. It is widely accepted that out of all the decoys, Samantha found the most success after her appearance on TCaP. While in the house, James pats his shirt pocket to show that he brought the aforementioned M&Ms, and gives them to the decoy as she swiftly makes an exit. James sits down and begins rubbing himself, and makes tongue motions alluding to the oral sex to himself, where he is soon interrupted by Chris Hansen. Hansen begins his questioning and asks what his intentions at the house were today. Wiles responds by saying he only came down to see the girl and not to have sex. Chris, armed with the truth, refutes James' claims, as he recalls Hambubger's explicit conversation he had online. The only defense James could muster up were that he says things like that all the time, alluding to the conversation appearing normal to him, and had no nefarious intentions behind it. Soon thereafter, the cameras come out, with the Dateline camera crew emerging from their hiding. James Wiles would not stop there, as he proceeds to give another excuse that he hoped would convince others of his innocence. He exclaims his inability to have sex, as by his own words saying, "Ain't no woman in this world that can give me a hard-on. I'm past that stage now." As no one believes him, he is instructed to leave the house and would be arrested by Flagler Beach police. While in police custody, he was transported to the police department, where James agrees to be interrogated by detectives. He was interrogated by Detective Liz Williams, where Wiles would mention his family, divorce, and his prior criminal charges and accusations. When brought the attention back to the 13-year-old girl, Wiles assures that he would only be friends with her and that he would never sexually abuse the child.
They said I was supposed to molest her, but I wouldn't molest no 13-year-old girl.
Oh, and you're talking about who?
Clara, the girl I met on the internet.
Oh, okay. Okay. And that's coming to see?
That's who I come to see because I promised her I'd come to visit her.
Oh, what were you guys going to do when you got here?
Just be a friend, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd talk about having sex, but I wouldn't do it because I didn't even bring no condom or nothing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe in molesting a 13-year-old girl.
When questioned about his explicit conversations about masturbation despite his claims of friendship, he responds with all of it just being pretend, and that he was only joking. He adds on that he only planned to watch television with the girl and potentially play games as well. Despite his opposition about his true intentions at the house, James Wiles would be charged with 3 felonies: attempted lewd or lascivious conduct, attempted contributing to the delinquency of a minor, attempted to commit a lewd act upon a child. He bailed out and went on the run from the police, but was quickly recaptured hiding at his mother's house. He was also wanted for failure to pay child support. But before his conviction could come, Wiles ended up painfully dying in jail by his own hand, as he refused to take medication for an undisclosed condition in 2010. The condition in question is theorized to be kidney disease. His daughters are reported to have had a celebratory party when the news of his death came. Wiles' daughter, Marcia, was living out of a hotel room and formerly been addicted to crack, and told the interviewer that she got high when she found out that her father had died.
I expected to hear from him, but I never did.
Okay.
And then whenever I found out he passed away, I didn't want to go see him. I wound up getting high and I backslid. I went and spent my whole SSI check on crack. That was my drug of choice.
Right.
Back then. But I'm clean. I'm off that.
Chris Hansen would mention on his podcast that none of his family wanted to see him on his deathbed, but Marcia, and the only reason was that she wanted to get a picture of him dying.
So they get the word that he's going to die. He's gravely ill. And nobody wants to go see him. But Marcia does go see him. And do you know why Marcia went to go see him? By her own account? She just wanted to get a picture of him. And I've seen this photo. It's out there on the internet. You can find it. Gravely ill, in a hospital bed, with a respirator attached. She wanted to get that picture. And she did.
Hambubger, 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 Hambubger.
It is safe to say that the community of To Catch a Predator is really strange, but at the same time, very vocal and active when it comes to investigating the predators caught trying to meet children. With online discussions, we get a chance to get new information and get a peek into what people think about James Wiles. A thread made by a fan on the To Catch a Predator Reddit shares their opinion of Hambubger. The post reads, James Wiles is the most evil TCaP predator. Unlike many other TCaP circus animals, Wiles is a serial child molester and never got caught or beaten for that. He, along with his father and brother, molested his own daughters. James beat his daughter Marcia violently on a regular basis. Marcia seems to have been a drug addict in the past as a way to cope with being molested. During his interrogation in Flagler, James blamed all of his crimes all on his brother. His daughters had a celebratory party when the news of Hambubger's death came, and they said they would do the same when his brother dies, which presumably means also that Wiles' father is already dead. Another user chipped into the OP's post with their own feelings about James Wiles. I fancy myself a very calm person. It's a point of personal pride that it takes a lot to really push my buttons, or even upset me. I've never even wanted to hit an old person, but if for whatever reason I bump into that guy with all the knowledge while he was still alive, it would have been on sight. Words like evil are too good for him. Next, we will showcase 2 users from the website, the Temple of TCaP, with the first digging to find more information about James, and a surprising amount of information about his brother, whose full name was William Ray Wiles. I was doing some Hambubger info searching tonight and came across obituaries for his mother and sister. I'm not sure when his father died, but his mother died in 2008. According to her obituary, James Sr. was already dead at the time, but Hambubger, his brother, and his sister were all still living. In 2011, Hambubger's sister died. In her obituary, it's revealed that both brothers were also dead. This means that the four of them all knocked off between April 27th, 2008 and May 4th, 2011. While I can't find an obituary for Hambubger or his brother, the page linked to in this newspaper from 2007 has a quick little report of an incident of William Wiles being arrested for the possession of crack. It's at the far right, just above the ad for blinds. He's also pictured on the front page of the paper in an article about homelessness in 2009. His brother's full name was William Ray Wiles, and was apparently registered as a Democrat, so perhaps Hambubger was as well. Circling back to the political affiliations thread. William R. Wiles, 60, 809 Northeast Citrus Avenue, Crystal River at 3:15 p.m. Saturday on a charge of possession of a controlled substance. An officer said he was on patrol when he saw Wiles walking and stopped to talk to him. Wiles' fist was clenched when the officer asked to see what he was holding. Wiles revealed 2 crack cocaine rocks, according to the arrest report. The officer found another crack rock in Wiles' cigarette pack. Bond, $5,000. William Wiles huddles for warmth Thursday morning outside of a convenience store in Citrus Avenue in Crystal River. The homeless man said he usually stays in the woods, but on Wednesday night, when the temperature dipped into the teens, he was able to stay in a recreational vehicle provided by a Good Samaritan. The second user brings up a picture of Wiles in high school, detesting a perceived evil look that he had even when he was younger. Why has he always looked evil? I saw a photo of him in high school, and he looked evil there too, even as a young guy who had presumably done nothing wrong at that point. Forgive me if I'm not up to date with my Hambubger lore, but it's so strange to see him with his daughters knowing that he apparently molested one of them. Then, years later, she visits him for the sole purpose of taking a photo as he lays dying. The brutal, deprived life of James Wiles. The legacy that James Wayne Wiles left behind is one of destruction and pain, with his family suffering the brunt of the damage he caused. Even after his death in 2010, the reputation he garnered via NBC's To Catch a Predator will perpetually be mentioned in conversations involving some of the most evil people ever shown on reality television.